Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 61.
It starts with Xia's tactics. He's not meeting Ma Yuan head-on. He's leading him on a chase, using his special mount, the Sabuxiang.
But he keeps doubling back, doesn't he? It's not just running away.
No, it's deliberate. The text calls it Yudilie, the method of luring the enemy. Xia knows Ma Yuan is just pure rage and pride at this point.
So he gives him little tastes of battle.
Just enough. A few skirmishes here and there, enough to keep Ma Yuan thinking, I've almost got him. Then Xia pulls back again. It's designed to frustrate him endlessly.
And this chase leads them somewhere pretty awful, doesn't it? The landscape itself sounds terrible.
Oh, absolutely. The description is intense. It's like the mountain pass itself is part of the strategy. Steep cliffs, cold shadows, high clouds.
And dangerous animals.
Yeah, hungry wolves, roaring tigers, the works. Plus it's all tangled vines, thick pine forest, bamboo groves everywhere. It's meant to be exhausting, physically and mentally.
Imagine chasing your mortal enemy through that. You'd be tripping over roots, losing sight of him in the trees.
Exactly. And the paths are described as ancient, winding, hard to follow. Ma Yuan is running on pure adrenaline and hatred, but the terrain is just grinding him down.
So by the time night falls, he must be completely wrecked.
The text uses the phrase Li Jin Jinshu. Basically, his strength is gone, his muscles are shot. He finally collapses, needing rest. But Xia's not finished.
Oh, right. This is the really cruel part. Xia sets up a fake victory party.
Yeah, up on the mountain summit. Ma Yuan, trying to rest, suddenly hears cannon fire, sees torches, fireballs.
And he looks up.
And sees Jing Xia and King Wu seemingly celebrating on horseback, shouting about how they finally captured Ma Yuan.
Wow, talk about psychological warfare. He hasn't even been caught.
Nope, it's pure theater. And Ma Yuan, already exhausted, just loses it. He spends the entire night charging up the mountain, finding nothing, then hearing shouts like, "Don't let him escape," down near the base.
Chasing ghosts, essentially.
Pretty much. He achieves absolutely nothing but burns through every last bit of energy he had left. By dawn, he's not just tired. He's starving, utterly depleted, and his hatred is now mixed with this desperate, gnawing hunger.
And that state, that's the crucial setup for what comes next, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Because this is where the story takes that incredibly dark turn.
Okay, so Ma Yuan, desperate, hungry. He hears someone crying.
Yes, from a patch of thick grass. He pushes it aside and finds a woman there. She said she's just a commoner, suffering from a terrible heart ailment, Xiqi Tang.
And she's begging for help.
Desperately. She wants him to fetch hot soup from a nearby village, says it's the only thing that can save her life. It sounds like a classic damsel in distress moment.
But Ma Yuan isn't exactly Prince Charming here.
Not even close. His reaction is ice cold. He basically tells her, look, you're dying anyway.
Yeah.
And then he makes his horrifying proposal.
This is the part that's just, yeah.
He says, why not do a favor and let me, the poor Taoist, eat you? It's shocking.
And he uses this strange phrase, doesn't he? Something about converting her.
Yes. Why? Converting you into a fast. Well, it's a really twisted use of language.
How so? What does Zai usually mean?
Zai relates to Taoist practices, fasting, purification, religious observance. He's taking this spiritual term and completely perverting it to justify, well, cannibalism, framing it as some kind of necessary act, even a bizarre favor to him, the poor Taoist.
Wow. So he's using religious language to excuse something truly horrific. It shows how far gone he is.
Absolutely. It signals his complete moral collapse. He's abandoned any sense of common decency or compassion. He's operating on pure survival instinct and this warped justification. Her protest, how can there be a reason to eat people, just highlights how monstrous his suggestion is.
And he doesn't hesitate, does he?
No. The text is brutal. He steps on her chest and thigh to hold her down, pulls out his sword, cuts her open, and immediately starts drinking her blood. It says scalding hot blood.
Just driven by that hunger and desperation.
Pure primal need at this point.
Yeah.
But then comes the twist. He tries to reach in to eat her heart. The phrase is muchinchi, feel for the heart to eat. His hands are just sloshing around in blood. He realizes there are no internal organs inside her. Bing wo zhang, nothing.
Whoa. So it wasn't a real person.
Not a real person. He instantly knows it's magic, some kind of illusion, a trap.
So he goes from this act of, ultimate brutality straight into realizing he's been tricked.
In the same instant. And while he's struggling, confused, hands stuck inside this magically empty body, help arrives. Or rather, an intervention.
This is Wenshu Guangfa Tianzun.
That's him, a major disciple of Yuan Tianzun for the Jade Void Palace. He shows up riding a spotted deer, sword ready. The trap has worked perfectly.
The empty body proved Ma Yuan's own depravity trapped him.
Precisely. His own actions sealed his fate. It gets worse for Ma Yuan. He tries to pull his hands out.
But he can't.
Nope. The woman's stomach magically seals shut, trapping his hands inside. Then his feet somehow fuse to her body, too. He's completely stuck, basically squatting there, helpless.
Globalized. And Tianzun is about to finish him off.
Raises his sword for the killing blow. This looks like the end. Justice for the cannibal, right? You'd think so. But then, another voice calls out.
Another intervention. This chapter is just packed.
It really is. A voice shouts, "Taoist brother, hold your sword!" And in comes the Xiqi Taoist.
Okay, and who is he? He sounds important.
Very. He introduces himself with a verse claiming to be ancestor Bodhi and a great master of the Dharma for the Western teaching. This is a major power player from a different faction, essentially.
The Western teaching, like Buddhism, or a precursor.
It represents the nascent Buddhist tradition within the novel's cosmology. And Xiqi immediately gives two very specific, very bureaucratic reasons why Ma Yuan shouldn't be killed.
Bureaucratic, even in a moment like this.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the politics of the gods in Fengshen Yanyu. First, Xiqi points out Ma Yuan isn't on the Fengshen Bang, the official list of who is destined to die and be invested as a god in this specific conflict.
So technically killing him now is against the rules.
According to Xiqi, yes. It disrupts the destined plan for the Fengshen Bang. But the second reason is the kicker.
Okay, what is it?
Xiqi declares that Ma Yuan actually has deep spiritual roots, Ganing Xingqi Zong, and crucially is fated to join his Western teaching, the Wu Qifang Yo Yuan.
Wait, hang on. The guy who just tried to eat someone has deep spiritual roots and is fated for the West? That sounds convenient.
Doesn't it? This is where you really see the underlying power dynamics. Is it destiny?
What?
Or is Xiqi basically seeing a powerful, albeit morally compromised warrior who's currently vulnerable and thinking, I can use him? It looks a lot like spiritual headhunting.
Poaching a potential asset, basically.
Yeah, that's strongly implied. Ma Yuan's cultivation level, his gunshing, is valuable. Xiqi sees that potential, and his current predicament makes him easy pickings for conversion, the actual cannibalism. Apparently negotiable if you're destined for the West.
And how does Wenshu Guangfa Tianzin react, the guy who's about to execute Ma Yuan?
He agrees immediately. Just says, the poor Taoist accepts your command. Shows you the authority Xiqi wields, or at least the respect according to the Western teaching. There's no argument about Ma Yuan's actions.
Wow. So the conversion happens right then and there.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Xiqi performs a ceremony called Moqing Shoji, touching the crown of Ma Yuan's head, conferring enlightenment or marking him for the Western path.
And he tells Ma Yuan his old life was pointless.
Pretty much dismisses his years of practicing Taoist five elements cultivation, W Xing Shulian, as a waste of time. Then he lays out this glowing future for a Ma Yuan in the West.
What's the pitch?
Paradise, basically. Discussing the profound three vehicles teaching, Sancheng Daki, by the peaceful eight virtues pool, enjoying total freedom in the jeweled seven treasures forest. It's an irresistible offer for someone currently stuck, squatting on a magical corpse, you know.
Yeah, I imagine Ma Yuan's pretty motivated to accept at this point.
He agrees instantly, bows repeatedly. He goes from cannibal prisoner to holy convert in, like, 30 seconds.
It's an incredible turnaround, but there's one more piece to this, isn't there? Something changes hands.
Yes. The transaction isn't purely spiritual. Before Xiqi leads Ma Yuan off to the west, he gives something to Wenshu Guanfa Tianzin.
What is it?
The god-striking whip, the Ding Shen Baian. And he tells Tianzin to pass it on to Jiang.
The god-striking whip. That's a hugely important artifact in the story, isn't it? It gives Xia authority over the gods on the list.
Exactly. It's a critical tool for Jiang to actually complete the investiture. We go from this, like, cosmic judgment straight into cold, hard politics on the battlefield.
Okay, for Xia, the clock's ticking, and the person blocking him is Yin Hong, and he's not just any general.
No, he's the son of the previous Shang King, the very dynasty Xia is supposed to overthrow. So yeah, it's messy, really complicated.
All right, so let's start at the command center. Xia's there, the key Taoists are there. It sounds urgent. What's happening right at the start? What's the setup?
Well, the urgency is all about that investiture deadline. First thing, you see power consolidating. Guangfa Tianzun shows up. He's just dealt with another threat, Ma Yuan. And crucially, he gives Xia the Dashen Bian.
The god-beating whip.
Exactly. But as boom, the focus snaps straight to Yin Hong. And you see Qi Jingzi, who is actually Yin Hong's master.
Yeah.
He's visibly upset. The source says his eyebrows are knitted together. because his own student is messing up heaven's schedule by fighting for the wrong side.
Hold on. So the master's feelings for his student, that whole master-apprentice bond, the Xiqi king, that takes a backseat to making sure Yin Hong basically makes his appointment for the afterlife list on time. That sounds incredibly cold.
In the world of Fengtian, yeah, pretty much. The divine mandate, heaven's will, it trumps everything. Human feelings are, well, secondary. And that's why Qihang Daoren's arrival is so pivotal.
Ah, okay. So Shihang shows up and kind of cuts through the feeling.
Cuts right through it.
Yeah.
Clarifies the only way forward, the only divine way.
Which involves pulling out the seriously big guns, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. Qihang asks Xia straight up, basically, hey, remember when you broke those Tenju arrays? You still got that Taiji 2 thing, the supreme ultimate diagram.
And Xia says yes, it's available.
He does. And then Qihang lays it out. If you want to capture Yin Hong, it has to be Qi Jingzi, his master, using the Taiji 2. No other way.
Wow. The irony, the master has to be the one to basically take him out using this ultimate weapon.
Crushing, isn't it? And Qi Jingzi is really, really reluctant. You can feel it. But the others basically say, look, we have to do this. We're afraid we'll miss the deadline. So his personal feelings, overruled by the cosmic schedule.
Okay, so the trap is laid. Xia goes out, confronts Yin Hong. But it's not a real fight, is it? It's a lure.
Exactly. It's a smart little military move wrapped up in this huge divine plot. Xia rides out, they clash for just a few rounds, very briefly, then Xia pretends to lose. And here's the key bit. He doesn't run back to his safe city. He specifically flees towards the wilderness, the empty space to the south they'd picked out.
He's leading him right into it. And Yin Hong, who's probably already nervous because his ally Ma Yuan vanished, he's going to chase him, thinking he's finally got Xia cornered.
Precisely. He takes the bait.
Which brings us right to the moment of truth. Xia leads Yin Hong into the kill zone. Qi Jingzi is there, waiting. He can't put it off anymore.
And it's just tragic.
Yeah.
Qi Jingzi sees his student charging, totally unaware, and the text says, huh. Tears just start falling. He sighs about how stubborn Yin Hong is, calls him basically an animal for breaking his word, and then he unfurls the Taiji 2.
Okay, we need to really understand this thing, the Taiji 2. It's not just like a magic net or something, right? What is it? How does it work?
Right. It's not a physical attack. It's called the Jinsha, a treasure that contains, like, everything, all of existence. And when Qi Jingzi opens it, it instantly becomes this golden bridge, shimmering, inviting.
A bridge? Why a bridge?
It plays on arrogance, I think. Yin Hong sees this golden path appear out of nowhere and just scoffs. He calls it a cheap trick, an illusion. And his big mistake, he rides straight onto it.
He walks right into the trap, willingly.
Completely willingly. And that's when the diagram's true nature kicks in. It stops being just a bridge and becomes, well, a mental prison. It activates these, the 4 symbols, which create infinite changes. It literally weaponizes his own mind, his fears, his conscience against him.
How does that, I mean, what does he actually see or experience? Is it just illusions?
It's way more terrifying than that.
Yeah.
It's personalized chaos. It taps directly into his thoughts. So he worries about an ambush, bam, ambushers suddenly attack him, they fight for a second, then poof, they vanish, leaving him totally confused.
Whoa.
He desperately wants to capture Xia. Suddenly Xia is right there, they fight again, and then Xia just disappears. It's yanking him back and forth between his fears and desires.
So it's not a dream. It's like his inner world made real, but completely broken and nonsensical. Like the worst kind of trip imaginable, mixed with his deepest regrets.
Exactly. And the most chilling part, he starts thinking of home, of Chaoge. And suddenly, he's there. He sees his dead mother, Empress Jiang, his aunt, Lady Yang. But they're like ghosts, silent, disconnected, no real interaction. It leaves him, as the text says, like he's dreaming or totally losing his mind. And he has no stable thoughts left. His mind is the cage.
And inside that cage, he finally has to face the music, the broken oath.
That's the climax inside the diagram. His own mother, Empress Jiang Niang, appears as this sort of spectral figure, and she confronts him. She's the ultimate witness to why this is happening. He broke his promise. He chose to back the wrong side, the wicked side, against the righteous one.
So it's not just being killed in battle. It's like a spiritual court-martial based on a contract he himself wrote.
Precisely. And she reminds him of the exact words he used when he made that vow. He swore that if he broke his word, his own limbs would turn into fly ash. It's his own curse coming due. Karma, basically.
He must be desperate at this point. Does he try to plead?
Oh, yeah. He begs his master, Qi Jingzi, who's outside the diagram watching all this. He blames Shen Gongbao for tricking him. And you see that flicker again, that Xun, the master-student bond. Qi Jingzi hesitates for just a second.
But having schedule waits for no one, right?
Not a chance. Shi Hongdao Ren steps in again, absolutely cuts through the emotion, reminds Qi Jingzi very sternly, Shun, heaven's will is clear. And then the killer line, don't you dare delay his scheduled arrival time at the Investiture of the Gods platform.
That is just brutal. The master's love versus the divine timetable, and the timetable wins.
Mandate is absolute. So Qi Jingzi, heartbroken, holding back tears, he does it. He shakes the diagram, rolls it up, and then instantly unfurls it again.
What happens to Yin Hong?
Gone, instantly. Him, his horse, everything, just turned into fly ash, utterly gone. His soul goes straight to the Fengshen Tai, the investiture platform, judgment delivered. Qi Jingzi is left grieving, but yeah, the war needed this sacrifice.
Wow, okay. So, the divine obstacle is removed, poof, fly ash. And then, what happens down on the ground with the actual human armies? Does everything just pause?
Pause. Not even close. This is where it gets really interesting politically. The instant Yin Hong is gone and news must travel fast, or maybe the vibe just changes, the human generals react immediately.
So who makes the first move?
Su Hu.
Yeah.
He's the Marquis of Jizu, the main commander for the Shang loyalists at this point. He pulls his son Su Quanzong aside, like right away, and they decide, basically on the spot, okay, time to switch sides.
Just like that. No agonizing.
Su Quanzong even says something like, look, we would have joined Zhu ages ago if it wasn't for tough guys like Lu Yu and, well, Yin Hong holding things together. It's pure opportunism. The power just shifted dramatically.
So survival instinct kicking in, what do? Just right over to Ziya's camp?
Much smarter than that. Su Hu immediately writes a letter, a formal defection letter to Ziya. But he frames it carefully, of course. He claims his heart Mies belonged to Zhu for ages. He makes himself useful immediately. That's the key. He proposes a plan.
Okay, what's the plan?
He tells Ziya, you guys should launch a surprise night raid on our camp. Tonight? And then he promises that during the chaos, he and his son will personally capture the other main loyalist generals. He even names names, Zhang Lun, Lu Fu, and Gu Zong. The letter gets shot into Ziya's city on an arrow. Nan Gongxi finds it, brings it to Ziya, and bam! The defection is real, the plan is set, and the fate of the remaining Shang forces is pretty much sealed.
Right after a Shang defeat.
And the surviving generals, Zhang Lun, Lu Fu, Gu Zong, they're doing the standard thing, talking about, sending a report back to Chaozh, the capital, asking for backup. They want to keep fighting.
But their commander, Su Hu, he's playing things very close to the chest. He just tells them he'll deal with the matter tomorrow.
Right. And they totally miss it. They don't realize Su Hu has already decided, basically, I'm done with Shang.
He's secretly planning to defect, to go over to Xiqi that very night.
Exactly. And that quiet decision, that's the spark that ignites everything we're about to discuss.
Okay, let's get into the raid itself. The military strategy.
Yeah, this is where you really see the craftiness of Jiang Ziya, Xiqi's prime minister and top strategist. This wasn't just a random clash. It was timed perfectly, built on good intel.
The sources mention the timing, right? Ziya gives the orders around noon.
Noon. Gives everyone time to get ready.
But the actual attack doesn't happen until the second watch. So around midnight. Why wait so long? Well, surprise, obviously, it's huge in a night raid. But I think the real brilliance here is how they combined the defection with the attack.
Right. Su Hu switching sides.
Exactly. Because Su Hu was defecting from within, the camp's defenses, the patrols, any kind of warning system. It was probably already neutralized before Xiqi's soldiers even showed up.
So it wasn't really a high-risk assault. It was more like a cleanup operation set up from the inside.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it. A surgical mop-up.
Yeah.
And Ziya's deployment reflects that confidence. You've got Yellow Feihu and his sons, a powerhouse unit hitting the front.
Okay.
Then Deng Zhugan on the left flank, Nan Gongxi on the right, and the young gun Neza covering the rear. Pretty solid.
So the signal goes off. A cannon blast, I think.
Yeah, a cannon blast. And Yellow Feihu's troops just pour in. The source specifically says they found no cover.
Meaning the Shang soldiers were totally unprepared, sleeping.
Pretty much confirms it. Yeah. Su Hu's groundwork must have been thorough. No chance for them to mount any kind of organized defense.
And the fighting itself sounds incredibly quick and decisive. Zhang Lun, the loyalist we mentioned, he rushes out on his fire-eyed, golden-eyed beast.
Right, wielding his demonic pestle. A fearsome sight, I imagine.
He runs straight into Yellow Feihu and his sons. And that fight is described as unresolvable, like a stalemate.
Yeah, a genuine clash of titans there. But While Zhang Lun is tied up in the center,
The flanks are collapsing.
completely. On the left, Deng Zhigong meets Lu Fu. The source says Deng kills him with one slice.
One slice. Wow.
Yeah. Over incredibly fast. No contest, really.
And the right flank.
Yeah.
Nangongshi versus Gu Zhang.
Similar story, though maybe slightly different. Nangongshi engages Gu Zhang. Gu Zhang sees it's hopeless, tries to run for it.
Bad move.
Fatal move. Yellow Tiangxiang, one of Fei Hu's sons, presumably intercepts him. A surprise spear thrust. And that's the end of Gu Zhang.
Okay, so Lu Fu and Gu Zhang are down.
And here's a really interesting detail the source throws in. You should really note this. It explicitly states the souls of Lu Fu and Gu Zhang went straight to the Fengshen platform.
Okay, remind us the Fengshen platform. There's, like, the Cosmic Recruitment Center. For gods.
Essentially, yes. It's the register for those destined for ennoblement in the celestial bureaucracy after death. So mentioning this isn't just color commentary?
It's signaling that these deaths were, like, fated, part of a bigger divine plan.
Exactly. It reinforces that whole mandate of heaven theme. Xiqi isn't just winning battles through skill, they're fulfilling destiny. These outcomes were preordained.
Got it. So with the flanks gone and destiny apparently on Xiqi's side, Zheng Lun's situation looks pretty grim.
It was inevitable, really. Deng Zhigong, having finished off Lu Fu, circles back. He catches Zheng Lun from the side.
The classic flanking maneuver.
Textbook. Blocks the demonic pestle, grabs Zheng Lun's robe. Can you picture that? Yanks him right off his mount and has him tied up, just like that.
The raid's a total success. Decisive.
Absolutely spectacular. And while all this fighting is happening, remember the quiet part of the plan.
Su Hu and his son.
They slip out and enter Xiqi through the west gate. Smooth as silk. By dawn, the Shan camp is effectively gone. Annihilated, captured, scattered.
Okay, so the battle's over. Now we shift scenes, right? From the chaos of the night raid to the more controlled environment of Jiang Ziya's court.
The silver antechamber, yes. And
Right.
this is where Ziya shifts from military commander to, well, master politician.
He's setting the stage.
Totally. First, he gets the reports from his generals. Yellow Feihu, Deng Zhigong reporting the kill and capture, Nangongshi reporting Gu Zhang's death via Yellow Tiangxiang, establishes the victory clearly.
And then Su Hu arrives, the defector.
Right, and Ziya lays it on thick, praising Su Hu's great virtue, his righteousness, calling him a true hero for abandoning the pollution of the age.
That language is very deliberate, isn't it?
Right.
It's not just welcoming him, it's framing his treason as a noble act.
Oh, completely. It legitimizes Su Hu instantly, makes him look like a moral crusader, not a turncoat, and it sends a message to anyone else in the Shang ranks who might be having doubts.
Come on over, the water's fine and it's the right thing to do.
Pretty much. Ziya's managing the narrative masterfully. And then comes the main event, Zheng Lun.
Right, the captured loyalist he's brought in.
Pushed forward, the source says, and despite being bound, defeated, probably roughed up, he refuses to kneel.
Stands tall.
Stands tall and just glares daggers at Su Hu. Imagine the tension in that room. Su Hu, his former commander, now standing there celebrated by the enemy, while Zheng Lun faces death for the loyalty Su Hu just threw away.
Oof. Intense.
And his defiance doesn't stop there. Ziya speaks to him, and Zheng Lun just fires back. Calls Ziya a stupid fellow, a rebel.
He doesn't hold back.
Not at all. Says he wished he could capture them all and drag them to Taj for proper justice. He basically says, kill me now, I'm not surrendering. His line is, I have death only, why speak more?
Incredible defiance. So what does Ziya do?
His reaction is immediate, cold. Orders the execution, push him out and chop him up.
Whoa. Just like that.
Just like that. But this is where you see Ziya's calculation.
You think it was a bluff?
I think it was pure political theater. Was he really going to execute a general known for fierce loyalty, someone potentially useful? Probably not.
So the execution order was a setup.
Exactly. A provocation. Designed to achieve a specific political goal, it sets the stage perfectly for Su Hu to intervene.
Ah, so Ziya created a situation where Su Hu could publicly save Zheng Lun.
Precisely. Su Hu immediately plays his part, kneels before Ziya.
And pleads for Zheng Lun's life. What's his argument?
It's smart. He praises Zheng Lun's loyalty and righteousness, valuable qualities, even if currently aimed at the wrong side. And crucially, he points out Zheng Lun is highly useful.
Practical.
Very. He asks Ziya to pardon him, invoking this idea of releasing resentment and using the enemy, turn foe into friend.
And Ziya.
Xia smiles, admits the whole thing was basically orchestrated. He knew Zhenglun was loyal, the execution order. It was a deliberate move to let Su Hu be the hero, make the save.
Creating a sense of obligation in Zhenglun,
Correct.
making it easier for him to accept switching sides later.
Exactly. It lowers Zhenglun's psychological defenses.
Right.
Makes the eventual persuasion easier. It's incredibly shrewd, ruthless even.
Wow. Okay, so Xia sets the stage. Su Hu makes the plea. Now, Su Hu has to actually convince Zhenglun. This is the core persuasion moment.
Yes. Su Hu goes over to the captured, probably still fuming, Zhenglun, and launches into this incredibly structured argument. It's designed point by point to dismantle Zhenglun's loyalty to Shang.
Let's break it down. Argument 1.
Pure pragmatism. He tells Zhenglun, essentially, wake up and smell the coffee. The quote is, "He who recognizes the times is a hero." Meaning, don't be an idiot and die for a lost cause. Surrendering now isn't cowardice, it's being smart. It's the action of a gentleman who sees the machine in motion, recognizing reality.
Okay, so it reframes surrender as wisdom, not betrayal.
Yeah.
Smart. What's argument 2?
This one's the big gun, the mandate of heaven.
The divine right or lack thereof.
Exactly. Su Hu paints King Zhu as lawless, someone who's caused heaven's sorrow and the people's resentment. Because the king is failing his duty, heaven itself wants Shang destroyed.
So loyalty to this king is actually going against heaven's will.
Precisely. It elevates the act of switching sides from treason against a man to alignment with cosmic justice, a very powerful justification.
Okay, that's a heavy hitter. Argument 3.
Precedent. He points to other respected generals already in the Xiqi camp, like Yellow Fei Hu, like Deng Zhigang.
People Zhenglun would know and maybe respect.
Right. He says they aren't disloyal. They switched because the ruler lost his way. The argument is, loyalty is owed to the position, the dynasty, the people, not to a tyrant who mistreats everyone. A bad ruler becomes a lone tyrant, forfeiting legitimacy.
Shifting the definition of loyalty. Clever. Argument 4.
This one's about fate, destiny, looking at the track record. Su Hu basically says, look around Zhenglun. Think about all the talented Shang warriors Xiqi has already defeated.
The writing's on the wall.
Pretty much. He argues this consistent pattern of Yuki success isn't just luck or better soldiers. It's evidence of heaven's will. It's the tide of history. Why fight something so inevitable?
An appeal to overwhelming odds, but framed as destiny. And the final argument. Number 5.
The sweetener. Simple self-interest. He promises Zhenglun unlimited enjoyment, status, prosperity if he just switches sides now, join the winning team, secure your future.
So it's a combination punch.
Go.
Be smart, be righteous, follow precedent, accept destiny, and hey, get rewarded.
Exactly. Pragmatism, philosophy, history, fate, and personal benefit. It's a comprehensive case.
And it works.
Completely. The source says Zhenglun felt like he was waking up from a dream or sobering up from being drunk. A sudden, profound shift in perspective.
He realizes his rigid loyalty was misplaced.
Yes, but he has one last practical worry. He's afraid Xia's generals, the guys he was just fighting, won't accept him. Bad blood, you know.
Understandable fear. How does Su Hu handle that?
He reassures him, says Zhang Ziya's capacity for forgiveness and acceptance is like the ocean it takes in all rivers, and his generals. They're noble guys who follow Ziya's lead. They'll be fine.
And Xia confirms this.
Immediately. Orders Zhenglun released from his bonds.
And Zhenglun.
The transformation is complete. He gets dressed properly, then formally bows to Xia, thanking him for his mercy. The loyalist enemy is now a loyal ally.
Incredible turnaround. So what happens next? They've gained Su Hu, his forces, and now Zhenglun.
Jingi's leadership is looking even stronger. Xia then takes Su Hu and, presumably, Zhenglun and the other defectors to meet the big boss, King Wu.
How does that meeting go?
King Wu is gracious, welcoming, but he sticks to the official script, which is important. He says Xiqi will keep acting like dutiful vassals. They're just, waiting for the Shang emperor to see the error of his ways and return to virtue.
Maintaining the political cover. Even though they're clearly winning and aiming higher?
Exactly. It's crucial for their legitimacy. They're positioning themselves not as usurpers, but as reluctant correctors, acting on behalf of heaven and the people. The moral high ground.
And the news of all this. Su Hu's defection, the capture of Zhenglun, it must send ripples.
Oh, major shockwaves. The source specifically mentions that Han Rong, the commander of the strategic Xiqi Pass, hears about Xiqi gathering all these heroes. He's panicked, immediately sends an urgent report to Cheosh.